everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Thatmumof5 and also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. So today's video, I'm really not happy bringing it to you, but I just have a couple of advices I'm going to be giving to those of us diaspora, like Nigerians in diaspora, that we should kind of offer you advice when it comes to looking after our children and making sure that as a parent we don't suffer at the end of the day when we should have raised these children well. So why am I saying this? So there's a story that actually the story was on the news about a few days ago, and it was about a young black guy who allegedly stabbed a police officer in the UK. So when I was watching that news, I saw that it was a black man, but I was not sure of a country of the nationality of the person. You know, while I was listening to the news, there were news that maybe it was one of those immigrants traveling across Europe or something like that, but apparently they seen him where he's traveled everywhere and anywhere. He had a backpack on. So I was really not following the story, but then I said last night I was obviously catching up on BBC News, and then the news was on my news, like on my highlights. So it says that man in custody on attempted murder charge over soldier stabbing. So it's been said that a man has been remanded in custody after being charged with the attempted murder of a uniformed army officer who was stabbed near a barracks in Kent. And this is not the first time. I think I've already been in the UK when a young naval officer was actually stabbed to death as well. This army officer actually passed away. He died, and this stemmed from another black guy who saw the soldier. If I find the image of that soldier that I'm talking about, this happened years ago. I'll pop his image here. May his soul rest in peace. He was just walking on his own. I think he was going home or returning to the barracks when this black guy accosted him, and he harmed this army officer, and this young officer passed away. So that black guy now, I want to believe he's also Nigerian, if I'm not mistaken, is serving his jail time in prison now. So when I saw this news again, and I'm like, oh, another young African man, let's keep reading this the news. So the name of the person is Anthony Esan, 24-year-old, appeared in Medway Magistrate Court on Thursday, having been charged earlier on the same day. The court ordered that Mr. Esan be remanded into custody, in quote, for his own welfare and with regards to the seriousness of the offences alleged. So Lieutenant Colonel Mark Teaton, I'm going to put his image here, who is in his 40s, was stabbed shortly before 6 o'clock on Tuesday in Sally Post Garden near Brompton Barracks. So he remains in a serious but stable condition in hospital. I'm super happy that this officer made it, because the other officer that I was talking to you about is a very young handsome lad, and this guy did not make it. The first one did not make it. So Mr. Esan, who is also charged with possession of an offensive weapon, was arrested half an hour later near his home in Mooring Road, Rochester. Police said, asked to confirm his date of birth and address in court. So this guy was asked to confirm his date of birth in court, and he was asking them why. He responded with, why do you want to know my name and address? That was his, no remorse whatsoever. So the prosecutor told the court that a man had been seen running up behind Lieutenant Colonel Teaton before pulling him to the ground and stabbing him repeatedly. Prosecutors told the court Mr. Esan was arrested while on a moped shortly after the incident. He was arrested on a moped. Where did he get the moped from? Like, why is he on a moped? A number of knives were found during a search of the moped storage compartment. Wow. So he actually stores weapon in his moped that he was driving. And why is he on a moped anyway? I'm going to pop an image of a moped. I believe moped is for those whose mobility is not stable. So Mr. Esan is due to appear at Maidstone Crown Court on the 22nd of August. So a defense source has confirmed the identity of the soldier to the BBC. Lieutenant Colonel Teaton oversees an engineering course for the Royal Engineers. The nearby barracks is home to the One Royal School of Military Engineering Regiment. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Sir Keir, is it Keir or Keir? Sorry, I don't mean no disrespect. Starmer said, our thoughts are with the soldier, his family, and our armed forces who served to keep us safe. We wish him a swift recovery. So it's so sad. You guys see why I said I was not quite happy, sharing these things. But obviously it's out there in the public. And why I said I was not happy sharing it was the fact that the guy in question is an African, is a Nigerian guy, and I am a Nigerian sitting here with you. And you all know why I've always come here to say, you know what, as Nigerians, wherever you find yourself, let us be known for the good reasons. Let us be known for the good reason, because this is a 24-year-old guy. You will think that, oh, he's gone to school, or even if he's not gone to school, he's gone through some sort of apprenticeship. He should be working, providing for himself, you know, at least living his young adult life. But then with the offense is committed now, he's going to be spending majority of his young adult lives in prison. And this is why I said, like, as a parent, now I'm going to come in as a parent. As a parent, I've seen several, you know, podcasts, especially shows on that the phrase saying that raising children abroad is difficult, that raising children abroad is hard, that is harder as compared to if they were to be back home in Nigeria. I beg to differ. Raising children abroad, it's not difficult, okay? Like I said, in my own case here, I've got 5 kids. The oldest is 20 years old and the youngest is 12 years old, okay? And I gave birth to 4 of them in the UK, and the one that I gave birth to here is 19 years old. And to God be the glory. This is not for me to come and, you know, say, oh, I'm a better parent. No, to God be the glory. Like I said, let's say even my oldest that I gave birth to in Nigeria, she was less than a year old when she came to the abroad. To God be the glory. I have not had any reason to say I need to go to the police station to go report a child, okay? So what I'm saying in essence is that parenting abroad is not difficult. I think in this situation of this boy, I don't know if this guy was born and bred in the UK, or he was one of those immigrant children who arrived in the UK as a young child or as a young adult. But then when we're talking about parenting is not hard in the UK at all. As a Nigerian household, I think maybe those who are ajabotas, the rich ones, maybe they are the ones who might just say, do they want to train their kids? Me being a parent here, I can't remember the last time I actually used my hands on my kids. I can't remember the last time I did that. There are other ways whereby if they misbehave, I met out that, you know, way of disciplining them. And it ranges, like I worked one day and I was saying to my manager that, you know what, my kids, my son, it's been almost 6 months I've taken their PS4 away from them. They will keep coming back to ask me, maybe there's any little holiday in the year. They're like, oh mom, can I have this? I'm like, no, that don't, for the fact that you are coming to ask me, you're not going to get it. I will decide if I want to give it to you. So there are several means of actually scolding a child, because our prayer as parents is that you don't want to give up, you don't want to give back to a child and grow up and start regretting how you brought up that child. And also I understand the fact that people are arguing that raising children abroad is hard, because obviously the laws here is different, that you can't use your hand on your kids. Even if you shout on them too much, you know, if they have age, they can report you. Even though at a primary school age, if you scream at them, if you talk to them anyhow, or you shout, or even do anything as, you know, any little thing at all, either shouting, screaming, what, if you do any of that at all, and they go to school, they will report. Hence why as a parent we have to be very, when we are blowing hot, we should always blow cold, okay? If a child misbehave, you can blow hot, and while you've blown hot and they've realized their mistakes, and you as a parent has calmed down as well, then you blow cool. And when you blow cool, you call them to say, do you know the reason why I did this, or I said this to you, or I acted in that way towards you? Have that conversation with them, and hear what they say as well. Hear what they say as well. So whatever their response was, and the conversation you are having with them will help you to understand that, okay, maybe if this, hopefully there won't be another example of what offense that child has committed. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that we should not always be blowing hot when we are, you know, disciplining our kids in abroad. And at the end of the day, also on the other hand, we should not always be blowing too cold, because if you blow too cold, you are leaving that child open to commit other offenses, and other offenses that, God forbid, will lead them, you know, to jail. So parenting abroad is a mix of 50-50, and it also goes to show the importance of why both parents have to be involved in a child's life. I know there might be situations whereby both parents are not together anymore, and then if both parents are not together anymore, allow each parent take their role in the life of that child, okay? Allow each parent take a role in the life of that child. Don't say because you are the mother, you have custody of the kids, and because their father was bad to you, you are now stopping the father from seeing them. No, as a woman abroad raising children, you don't want to do that. You want that male figure in the life of your children. And also, if you are the father and you luckily you got the custody of the children, do not deny their mother the opportunity or the role she deserves in the lives of those children, because it takes a village to raise a child, okay? it takes a village to raise a child. And me being, when I say it takes a village to raise a child, there have been times when I've seen some of my neighbors and my friends' children in the streets, the way they were behaving badly, because I know their mom and because I've known this children. In fact, these children, they were practically born in my hands. I've had to scold them in public, and while I was scolding them, I've called their mom and their dad and said, "Oh, I saw your child here. This is what he or she is doing, and this is what I've said to her. Call her and instruct her to come home." You know, so as a parent, my prayer is that at the end of the day, when we raise these children, that we will not be guilty on any of our children when we are raising them up. I pray that God will continue to give us the grace, the understanding, the power to be able to raise these children. And also, parents should also devote time to their children. I know it's easier said than done, especially when there's two parents in the household who are working. And I know if you don't work, your bills is not going to get paid, especially when these kids are above the age whereby you really don't have any reason for not working as a parent. If they are now of school age, apparently the government expects you to go find a job and start working full-time. But then while we are working full-time as well, we need to ensure that we are checking in on our kids, you know, check the kind of friends they are moving with, check what they are doing indoors or outdoors or after school. If you have a child who is coming pretty much late from school, when school closes at 3 o'clock and you expect them to be home at half 3 and they're not coming home till about half 5, 6 o'clock, like as a parent, if that was me, I'll be on my way to a school or at school and I'll be like, you know, be calling on, like, where are you? Okay, let's endeavor to check on what our kids are doing, what friends they are moving with. And for me, I'm not saying parent or children going for sleepover. I don't believe in sleepover because as a child, my parents never raised us like that, so none of my kids go for sleepover. And if you are the parent whose kids go on sleepover, endeavor to make sure that you know the family of this friend that he or she is going for sleepover. Like, what I'm saying in essence is that get involved in your children's life, get involved, know who they are moving with, get to know what they do, why you are there and why you are not there. And my prayer is that we will not find ourselves wanting the lives of our children. We will not be, God should not make us like one of those parents whose only child is in prison and all they are doing is frolicking, gossiping all over the internet. We don't want to be such parents. And I pray that those of us who are raising children abroad, that, you know, God will continue to give us the knowledge to be able to do so, to continually doing so, so that at the end of the day, when we see our children flying in high colors, being a better people in society, we can now say, oh yes, thank God that, you know, you made this possible for me. So with this guy, this Mr. Esan, I don't know his background. I don't know what could have transpired in his life or what could have led him to do what he did, but I just want to hope that as a parent that we don't ever find our children in such situation, and those whose children have actually been through that and they are trying to make amends. I pray that God will make it easier for you. Anyway guys, what do you think about the story so far and what I've said in this video? And also, are you of the opinion that raising children abroad is difficult? Let me know in the comment section. And if you have watched till now, also, is there any advice you would love to give to parents abroad to ensure that social services are not taking their kids away from them and they are not actually losing out in the stages of their children's lives? Anyway, this is the end of my video. Thanks so much if you have watched till now, and may God continue to keep his watch over us and, you know, of our family and children as well. Please, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like this video, drop a comment, and, you know, relate with the topic in the video so far. Subscribe if you're yet to do so, turn on the post notification so you don't miss any other video from me. Share this video, and I'll to catch up with you in my next one. All right, have an awesome day. Bye.